Hey everyone, so today I'm going to show you how to make this fan fold vase card. I posted it a while ago on my Instagram and I had quite a few requests as to how I'd made it. This particular one I'd made using Funky Fossil products, but today I'm going to show you how to make another one using some pattern paper and some die cuts from other brands. So this paper is from The Works. I've cut it down to 8 by 8. Then I've got another piece of paper that coordinates well with it for the fan fold section. And I've already pre-die cut some pieces using some Paper Discovery dies for the flowers and the leaves, and also a couple of elements from Alina Crafts. So first of all, make sure both pieces of cardstock are the same size. It just makes it easier for lining up the fan fold section with the vase section. And now with the section that I'm going to use for the vase, I'm going to just trim that down so you've got a angled top edge. You want to make sure that the longest section stays at 8 inches or whatever size you've decided for your fan section to be. So I'm just going to use my cutting mat. I decided to turn it over so that I could use the centimetre grid section, and I've just got my metal ruler there, and I'm going to use that with my craft knife to just trim that down. Now I decided to come down about 8 centimetres. I was umming and ahhing between 8 or 9 centimetres, but I went with 8 centimetres in the end. I thought that gave a better line. I am sorry that I'm a little bit off camera as I'm trimming this section, but literally I'm just going from the top, very top corner and coming down 8 centimetres. So now we've got our piece of cardstock ready for the vase. I have used a piece of double-sided card because it then looks nice that you've got the pattern on the inside of the vase too. So then what you're going to do is curve it round and decide where you want the join to be. I decide to make sure that the cardstock is wrapped inside the top of the vase section so that it hides that fold, because we are going to be attaching the fan section to it as well. So you could do it on the outside and it will be hidden. And once you're happy with how far round curved you want it to be, you can then start to get it tacked in place. I use double-sided tape and also some liquid glue just to make sure that you get a really firm hold. So once you've added your tape and your glue, you just need to give it a really good press down all along that join. I do take my bone fold and just make sure that I've got a really good connection on the inside, and it just takes a few moments for that glue to grab and the tape and then for it to hold it, and you can stand it up then and just check that it's all level on the bottom. So next we're going to grab our scoreboard and we're going to, on the 8 by 8 squared piece that's going to be the fan, score at every ½ an inch all the way down. I then flip it over and score again just so that those score lines are really crisp, and it would just make it easier now to fold each one into the fan shape that we're going to create. So once I've scored it and folded this over, I give it a really good burnish with my with my bone fold, and then I'm just going to move my scoreboard out of the way. And now to create the fan, in the middle, fold it. So keep your thumb in the middle, and then you want to fold each side till you get the fan and it joins up in the middle. And then we're going to add some liquid adhesive where those two bits meet, and that'll create the nice fan effect. There are other ways of doing this, but I just found this to be a really easy way of getting a nice fan fold section to the card. So just going to make sure that they line up, use some liquid glue, give it a little press together and make sure it's really well adhered. And I also use my metal ruler just to make sure that that's nice and flush. And we've got the fan fold section that we're just going to line up. Because they're both 8 inches, they'll both sit nicely together. And I've turned my fan over so that that little lip actually tucks in where the join of the vase is. And I think that gives a really nice, neat effect. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue and we're just going to run that down all along the top of all along that strip on the vase. And we just are going to need to use a little bit of glue, and it'll give it a bit of time to reposition the fan, make sure we've got it in the right place. I do prefer liquid glue over tape, purely because it allows you that wiggle time that you just don't get with tape. So it just allows you to really give it a good position and hold that in place. As you can see, the glue's coming away from the fan a little bit, so I do fix that in a moment. With all things, you just need a little bit of patience while the glue adheres and dries. So once you've lined it up and you're happy with it, you can give it a really good press down and then get it so that it's nice and flush, and then just give it that chance to dry. So once you're happy with that, you can add some liquid glue to that outer edge of the fan and then attach that bit to the vase as well. This just gives it a really strong hold, keeps everything nice and flush, and hides that join as well. So in order to be able to write your message on the back of this, I've die cut a circle, but you could easily just cut one out of cardstock. I've cut the end off, and then I've just scored a line so that you've got this flap which you can then add glue onto, and you can then attach that to the very back of the fan fold section on the back of the card. It's better to use liquid glue so that you've got that little bit of wiggle room as well. So I'm just going to attach that in there and make sure that that sticks really well to the vase section and the crease in the fan section as well. And then there you go, you can check it stands up. And now it's time to decorate. So I'm using these die cuts from a paper discovery set from Craft Stash. I'm going to get a paintbrush to just curl around those edges of the petals, and I'm going to do that on each of the die cut pieces. On the centre of the rose, I used the same die cut, but I cut one of those petals off, and then that gives a really nice finish to the centre of the rose. This is a little bit fiddly. It does take a little bit of time, but that's the best bit about card making, isn't it? Decorating the card at the end. So I'm just going to speed this section up in a moment, just to allow you to watch how I make the roses. I am using my glue gun for this, but again, any quick grab liquid glue would be fine, but the hot glue gun's just a little bit quicker. So yeah, I'll just speed this section. So there we go, there's the finished card. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I've attached a close-up photo of the finished card here so that you can see what it looks like standing up. And please let me know in the comments section if you've enjoyed this video. And please like and subscribe if you have. Take care.